What's going on, people? It's Josh for Future Filmmaker Reviews with Josh, where I talk movies, TV, and music, giving you guys my thoughts on Uncharted. This is directed by Ruben Fleischer, stars Tom Holland, Mark Wahlberg, Sophia Ali, Tati Gabrielle, and Antonio Banderas, and is based on the video game series of the same name by Naughty Dog. This is written by Ref Lee Jukins, Art Markham, and Matt Holloway. In this movie, treasure hunter Victor Sullivan recruits street-smart Nathan Drake to help him recover a 500-year-old lost fortune amassed by explorer Ferdinand Magellan. What starts out as a heist soon becomes a globe-trotting white-knuckle race to reach the prize before the ruthless Santiago Moncada can get his hands on it. If Sully and Nate gets to decipher the clues and solve one of the world's most oldest histories, they stand to find $5 billion in treasure, but only if they can learn to work together. This was a movie I was actually really looking forward to, but at the same time, considering the video game track record with video game movies in the past, I went in very skeptical, and also because this is Sony and because this was Ruben Fleischer. Don't get me wrong, I love Sony's movies, especially in their older films. Nowadays, they're hit and miss. There are some things I really like from them, like Zombieland and the Jumanji sequels, and even the Spider-Verse movies. But for every hit, they always have a miss. But just like every other studio. And Ruben Fleischer has proven himself to be a very talented director. Gangster Squad, 30 Minutes or Less, Unicorn Star, who was executive producer on it, Zombieland 1 and 2, and even with that, I still went into this with the optimism of hope and faith. And Tom Holland has proven himself to be a very good actor, especially in the Spider-Man movies. And Mark Wahlberg, I was a little iffy on his casting, especially because he looks nothing like Sully. And I also didn't mind some of the other cast. Sophia Ali, while Truth or Dare was a so bad it's good movie, I thought she was one of the better parts of the movie, and she is a good actress in her own right. I remember her from The Long Shots and Everybody Wants Some. So I went into this movie with optimism, but I knew this was not going to be like the games, and I know the games are adventure-like stuff, and not the greatest movie ever, but I definitely can sit here and say, I think this is a fun adventure movie that you can enjoy. It's not trying to be an Oscar winner, it's not trying to be deep and compelling, it just wants to be a fun adventure movie. Kicking it off with the positives, easily, we gotta talk about Tom Holland. Tom Holland is a very good actor. He has worked his way up acting since childhood, and with Spider-Man and stuff, it is at this point that he is now known with so much charisma and so much charm and so much fun. So he has definitely proven himself to be a very likable actor. The biggest worry I did have when it comes to him was I felt like that this was going to just be a case of the Spider-Man syndrome. And I will say that this version of Nathan Drake, this is a younger version of Nathan Drake. It's not the Nathan Drake you know from the games, but it is still very much respectful to the character and is very loyal to it. So I definitely could sit here and say they nailed that aspect, and I very much did enjoy it. And I thought his performance was very fun. He's very physical, he's very fun, he's very charismatic, and I think he does a very good job in the role. I can also say the best casting choice of this entire movie, I think, is Sophia Ali as Chloe Fraser. She is great. She is, in the video games, one of Nathan Drake's love interests, so they did keep that in mind, and I think she does a very good job as well. She's very fun, she has the accent for the character, and I think she pulled off the part very well. and she knew exactly the role she was getting herself into. She wasn't trying to be no Academy Award winner, and it she automatically has fun with her part. She is very fun. I haven't played any of the Uncharted games, so I was fine with being introduced to these characters through this movie. But I think Tom Holland and Sophia Ali are the best parts of this movie. I also didn't mind Tati Gabrielle as Joe Braddock. She is a mercenary working with Moncada against Nate and Sully. I also very much liked Rudy Panko as Sam Drake. I thought he did good. He was very good. And Antonio Banderas is the villain. He is a legendary actor, and I think he does good with the material he's given for the most part. We'll get back to him in a little bit. But as far as the cast goes, it's a pretty decent cast right there. And also I could say the action scenes and the way they are presented, this is not a whole bunch of CGI. You can tell that there is CGI, but there's also some good practical effects. The movie cost $90 to $120 million, so they kept the budget in line with it. And the movie looks great. It looks great for that budget. They used the budget to the best of their advantage, and they went for it. They actually went for that. Some of the action is not always the best handled, but this is a very well done film. For shot very well, it's lit very well, and for the cinematographer you have was the same cinematographer for movies like It and Hotel Artemis, Zombieland 2, and recently Last Night in Soho. It's all very well done. I very much really like what they tried to do here. I very much love the way the movie is shot, the way the movie is lit, and you can see what's going on. So you can see a lot of what's going on. They don't shake the camera all over the place. Again, there is some iffy spots when it comes to it, but they do try the best they can with the action scenes. I can also say the editing and the score of this movie is very adventure film-like. It's just a fun adventure film that you know exactly what you're getting yourself into, and you know what this movie is. So it definitely does know exactly what it is in a lot of areas. And the adventure is not anything groundbreaking, but I definitely appreciate the subversion of everyone double-crossing anyone, which is very hilarious. And it was still a very fun adventure to see. So I definitely much like what this movie was trying to bring. And it knew what it was. It was very fun, it's very awesome, and you just wanted to be entertained. Now, I think some people, if you are a fan of the Uncharted games, this will not be for you. So you have to know what you are going into this if you're very critical about every little detail. But if you just want to have some fun and enjoy it, or if you just are one of those Uncharted fans who wants to get some enjoyment out of it, I think you will. I think you can appreciate what they were trying to do here. Into the mixed aspects, I will say the only thing I'm pretty mixed on is the casting of Sully. On one end, I do like Mark Wahlberg in the role. I think he does very fine for what he's given, and I think he does a very good job. I'm not gonna say he's great. I ain't gonna say he's great because he's not the best choice, but I will say he is good. He does fine for what he's given, but I can't help but feel like Nathan Fillion or someone would have been better. And he was going to play Nathan Drake in early development. On the negative side, there are quite a few times where you can tell it's just Mark Wahlberg being himself, and he doesn't really look like the character. But again, I appreciate the effort that you're trying to go with this. I just feel like if you would handled the Sully casting better, I think they would have been much more stronger. But for what you get, they do the best they can, and they know exactly what they're doing, so I can't fault them if they're trying. Now I have to get into the negatives. The writing of this movie, the script is definitely not the greatest. There are some very iffy things when it comes to the writing here that doesn't really work. Like, I do wish there was more developments for the adventure and why they're going on this adventure and why everything is playing out the way it does. I do wish there was a way they could explore that more. And I do feel like if you had a little bit more development with that and a little bit more of humanity with some of this stuff, I do feel like you could have had something a lot more better than what it actually turns out, because the script is a little iffy. But then again, Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle did have a few iffy things. The dance fighting, while it was a problem with my friends, it was not a problem with me. It's a little cringy, but you know what? It's the good kind of cringe. It's not the bad cringy. And I will say our main villain is severely wasted in this and very underutilized. I don't know why this was for, but because Antonio Banderas has proven himself to be a legit great actor, but I don't really understand the decision to underutilize him the way they did. And I will say the last negative in the room is that I felt like the action scenes, while they are fun to watch, I do feel like there should have been a little bit more competent editing in some spots. This is not a horribly edited film. I'm not gonna sit here and say that, but I just felt like you needed a little bit of an extra push to really get down a lot of what this movie is going for. But 4 hour and 56 minutes is not boring, and I can definitely say right now, this is a better adventure movie than Jungle Cruise. I'm easily going to tell you that is the honest truth. Overall, is this a perfect movie? No. Does it have issues? Yes. Is it the best way to represent the Uncharted games? And does it remind you of other action adventure films? Rightfully so, but for a movie that I was very iffy on and curious about at the same time, it's a miracle that this movie turned out to be a lot better than it actually was. It's not the most original movie out there. I don't think it's the greatest movie ever made. I have fun with this. While Mark Wahlberg is miscast, while the villain in the script was mediocre, the action scenes were fun, the production is impressive, and Tom Holland and Sophia Ali are very charismatic. And this movie, I wouldn't mind seeing a sequel to this. If they do a sequel to this, I hope they can do it more like the games. I would love to see characters like Alina. I would love it. This is an entertaining movie that if you are an Uncharted fan, you won't like it. But if you're just someone who isn't an Uncharted fan or just want a fun adventure, I think you can appreciate what this movie is trying to go for. So for that, I'm going to give this movie a highly recommended. So in the comment section down below, what did you guys think of it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Or are you somewhere right in the middle? All my social media links are in the description box down below. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get notified when new videos up. Be sure to like, comment, and share and subscribe to the channel, because it does help with the algorithm and it does help the channel grow. And we are almost at 2K subscribers. Let's keep making that push. I'll see you guys in the next video. Join the Epictasticness, and you guys keep it cool. Stay Epictastic.